When we already finish in making the product, we need to deliver it to the customer. And also, when we want to get the product from supplier, we need also to deliver it to our places. In this case, we need a role of logistic. How the logistic is managed, we will learn in this video.
Let's talk about the way how the company create the logistic globally across the continent, across the country. In the international supply chain management, it is dispersed over the larger geographical area, not inside the country, but this is also across the country. This for sure offer many opportunities because we can access the cheaper labor and closer to the material and then closer to the customer and so on than the domestic supply chain. But there are so many risks that is also present in international supply chain. For example, political, economical condition, currency rate, and so on. In international supply chain, there's international distribution system. That is, manufacturing is still occur domestically, but the distribution and some marketing is take place overseas. So this approach is called international distribution system. Second one is the international supplier, where raw material and component are furnished by foreign supplier. The final assembly is performed domestically, and we try to sell it domestically. In some case, the final product is then shipped again to the foreign market. So the work-in process material is coming into our countries, and then we perform final assembly. So coming from overseas to our country, we perform the final assembly and then export it again to the other region. The offshore manufacturing, the product is typically sourced and manufactured in single foreign location. And this is shipped back to domestic warehouse for sales and distribution inside the countries, in this case. This is called the offshore manufacturing. So the manufacturing is conducted outside of the company. And then fully integrated global supply chain, it means the product are supplied, manufactured, and distributed from various facilities located throughout the world. So we can outsource from many countries, and then assemble in one country in here, and then we can distribute again to many countries. There is several forces that push the company to go to globalization. For example, the global market forces that the demand is coming in from many places, many countries, and technological forces that we can acquire technology. We can utilize the best use of the technology from many different sources, across the continent. Global cost forces, that this is also one of the reasons that the company going global. They try to find out the place where they can reduce the cost, especially the cost related to the workforce. Political and economic force, in this type of force, the company trying to find out the place where they have stable in political and get the benefit from the economical aspect. In the risk management, the outsourcing and offsourcing imply that the supply chain is geographically more diverse and more exposed also to the various risks. The recent trend toward the cost reduction and lean manufacturing or just in time, this is implied that the in progressive supply chain low inventory level can be maintained. In the event of catastrophic ones, for example, the disaster in this case, the adherence to this type of strategy could result in shutdown of production line because we don't have the raw material or part of the inventory from the supplier. For example, if we outsource from supplier from the other country and there is a major earthquake there, and then we will have a difficulty in getting the raw material or part. The source of the risk in this case, can be something that is unknown for us. For example, in this case, is natural disaster. When the natural disaster occur, we don't know. And then the geopolitical risk, there's a risk of epidemics, terrorist attacks, volatile fuel price, and so on. And then going down to here, this is quite known source of the risk. For example, the supplier performance, forecasting accuracy, and how they execute the problem. Going down here, the source of risk is becoming controllable, but going up to here is getting uncontrollable. How we can manage something that is difficult to control or uncontrollable, which is categorized as unknown. The first one is we can invest in redundancy. If we outsource the material from one customer in specific country, we have to have the backup, the similar supplier in another country. So this is invest in redundancy. Increase the velocity of sensing and responding. So this is our knowledge to predict what will happen in the near future. So we need to understand, we need to have this kind of knowledge in responding to any kind of risk. Create an adaptive supply chain community. When we already able to sense what will happen in the future, we have to be able to make our supply chain adapt to this new situation. So this is what we call it, the adaptive supply chain. Redundancy, the purpose is to respond to unforeseen event, and then we need the careful analysis because it is costly. For example, in this case, a CPG company have 40 facilities over the world. The initial analysis for reduction of costs by 40 million per year, shutdown of 17 of its existing manufacturing facilities, and they leave 23 plant operating and still can satisfy the market demand all over the world with the existing plant operating, even though they shut down 17 of them. Sensing and responding, the speed in sensing and responding can help the company to overcome the problem, any kind of problem that is unexpected to the supply problem. The failure to sense could lead to the failure to respond to change in the supply chain, of course, because we don't know. We don't know before that there is something happen, some problem happen. And this also can make the company exit the specific market. Adaptability is the most difficult risk management method to implement effectively because we need to change our organization structure. We need to change everything inside ourselves to adapt with the current situation. And this is require all the supply element to share the same culture and work toward the same objective and benefit to get from the financial. And we need the community, we need the partner in the supply chain that can reorganize to better react to sudden crisis. That is all about the global logistics. See you again in the next topic.
Thank you so much for joining me in Learning Operation Management. See you again in the next video.